want to share with y'all some things you may not know about what's happening in the North Carolina mountains in the aftermath of Helene. Here's number one. If you have friends or family that are headed into the mountains or who live there, the looting has picked up major steam. I was advised yesterday by a county sheriff to make sure that anybody out and about is carrying, and in his words, carrying with the safety off. There are very aggressive people out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. It's not because they're necessarily awful. They're desperate. Desperate people do desperate things, y'all. And why are they desperate? Because there's no water in some of these communities. We have neighbors in North Carolina with no water. And all I can say is this: the government ain't coming to save you. Not now, not ever, because they don't care about you, the people, anymore. It is the citizens who are going to have to step it up. Now, I got to tell y'all, I was floored yesterday by how my community, which is a little over an hour away from the affected areas, showed up at donation sites with water and diapers and formula and some liquid IV. I mean, y'all brought all kind of things, bleach, vinegar. You are ready to help, and we're going to take more donations today, and we're so grateful for everything because I'm going to get it into the hands of actual volunteers. And I was asking people, like, why are you bringing it to me? Some of y'all don't even know me. And they said, well, we don't trust the relief organizations anymore. Y'all, we have lost our organizations to grifters. We have lost our organizations to liars. And so we have to rely on each other because that's how this country was built. This country was built patriot by patriot. And I can tell you this, as a realtor, I know my realtors in the mountains, and I have talked to them, and they know the neighbors too. So I am getting your donations into hands that are going to get it into hands. And everybody that sent me dollars, I got teams of shoppers out, and I got receipts to prove it, because we are not grifters. We are neighbors. And the patriots that are in the mountains, if you see this, if your family sees this, hear me now. You are not forgotten by the rest of North Carolina. And if you are not in North Carolina, then there are ways that you can give. But can I just remind y'all of something? You cannot eat money. You cannot drink money. So for those of y'all that thought money was your God, and by the way, that includes our freaking elected officials, it's not your God. Told my girlfriend this morning while we were talking about this during our run, I said, tell your children, 'cause she's got grown children, this is why you keep a stash of water on hand. This is why you keep a stash of food on hand. But for those of y'all that are not in affected areas, if you can take your donated items and send it to the mountains, then send it with a friend. Make sure you're sending truckloads so that we don't overload the roads, because our first responders are overwhelmed. By the way, thank you, Governor DeSantis, for doing more for North Carolina than North Carolina's governor has. I'm very grateful for your National Guard, because we have to help each other, y'all.
Boom. What's up, you guys? So I'm at the airport waiting for a flight, but I just wanted to say some things, man, in the wake of the tragedies that are going on all around America. When it comes to catastrophic emergency management, these storms, in the case of Hawaii, these fires can happen at any given time. Everything can be normal, and then it can all change, and there are government agencies forecasting that things will change by the end, like by the election, right? So it's for situations just like what's going on down south and in the Carolinas that we put together the grid down survival course, because when these things happen, you have to make decisions. You have to have skills to fall back on. When you can't, did you pack your go bag prior to having to evacuate your house because the storm was coming, right? Did you get caught in the storm? Do you have to go back in and get people? Can you secure an environment? Can you survive off of the land? This is why we're doing this type of training, and I make these videos because there is such an abundance, an absolute ocean of real world case studies and scenarios and relevant things that happen that just validate this training. Every American should go through a training course like our Grid Down Survival course, our Catastrophic Emergency Survival course. Because you're gonna have options. You can go to a FEMA camp and sleep in a gym with a bunch of random people who are also desperate, or you and yours can go to the high ground. You can go out and you can find your own place. You can carve out your own space, and you guys can survive out there off the land and turn the whole entire thing into one big camp trip. You know, so this is why we're doing this. Thomas Coyne is an amazing survivalist, one of the world's most well-known survivalists in the game. We have myself and a bunch of military veterans with combat experience that are going to be there training you. You're going to learn survival skills, and you're going to learn small unit tactics to secure your family at this training. go to the website, protectyournation.com, look at the new course date, let's train together. 72 hours will get you what you need. It's an honor. Let's make the world a safer place by helping good people to be more willing, capable, prepared, and yes, more dangerous.